Hello, all, the irrational skeptic here, and today I am going to be doing a Naruto MBTI analysis because this show was one which I think influenced a lot of childhoods. I imagine that people would find it interesting if I did an analysis of each of the characters, and I will note that it's very hard to type fictional characters because they are usually a mesh of different characteristics, though I think they will more easily fit into one box than another. In some senses, it is much easier to tell characters archetype because the writers and directors usually want to remain coherent. Um, so, without further ado, I am going to start off with Naruto. Um, Naruto, in my opinion, is an ENFP. Um, this means that he has extroverted intuition as a dominant function, introverted feeling as an auxiliary function, extroverted thinking as a tertiary function, and introverted sensing as an inferior function. I say this because he wants to be the champion and one day become Hokage. He has very strong ideals, though he also loves to play around. He pranks his elders and has little regard for tradition. So this kicks out the S sensation dominance, and it pegs him more as an intuitive. Um, and also looking from his childhood, we see that he was stigmatized for having the nine-tails fox within him. Uh, though he didn't take it to heart and instead chose to try befriending everyone. So um, instead of instead of seeking retribution for people being mean towards him, he instead tried to befriend everyone. And he kept true to his friendships, which is a key marker of the NF temperament. The reason I wouldn't argue him being an ENTP is because he was more concerned about his friends than you might find an ENTP being. Um, so if he is an NE dominant and not an ENTP, I would say he has to be an ENFP. Another type that I considered Naruto being was ESFP. He was the kind of person that loved drawing attention to himself. This caused me to believe he may have been the entertainer archetype. And I actually still have this as a close second, except that his love for attention may actually be attributed to more of a scarred childhood than extroverted sensing being his dominant function. And we could actually say that trauma caused him to seek acceptance from everyone. Funny enough, the reason I would not pin him down as an ESFP is his inability to be suave with the ladies, in this case, Sakura. ESFPs are a lot more physical and less clumsy than ENFPs. He vibes a lot more with being a klutz that sometimes gets things right. This is a very intuitive way of going through life. He had big dreams and was motivated by ridding the world of evil. This was at the time his childish, introverted feeling in play. As he progressed through the show, he began to realize not everything was as it seemed. He had to face some powerful truths, one of which was identified to him by Pain, who was a central character in the show. Pain relates to him that even though he defeats evil now, it will always return. This made Naruto have to think, but still choose the side of good. Though he eventually started recognizing the truth of Pain's claims, he saw proof of the goodness in everyone when he was able to have Pain have a change of heart. and he was also able to forgive him for killing his own sensei, Jiraiya. His low extroverted thinking was also very apparent. As much as he tried to do during the show, he would try to complete a lot of tasks, and he would go about them in a very haphazard way that really did not make any sense. Um, he would charge into battle without thinking about the repercussions. And a few times during the show, you can see his inferior introverted sensing kicking in, trying to remind him that, hey, even though uh, everything you're doing might be kind of haphazard, you're still heading towards your sort of singular goal of your claims. And his singular claim was that he wanted to be Hokage. So this, you could see this as his inferior function kind of subconsciously getting at his one true dream. And this happens during a lot of the memory flashbacks that we see him having throughout the show. And yeah, even though he actually does eventually attain his dream. Sorry, spoiler alert. But yeah, so this is the end of this video. I would like to keep the Naruto character analysis very short because there's actually a lot of them to do. So I would probably like to keep these going forward under 10 minutes or so. And yeah, that will be it for now. Next, I will most likely be doing either Sakura or Sasuke, one of them. Just, yeah, keep updated and we can see how far we can get with this. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with this analysis, if you think he's a different type other than ENFP, and I will see you on the other side. The Irrational Skeptic signing off.